Hi, welcome back to the Backyard Wood Shop. I'm Tom Ryder. Today we're going to take a wood washer from FastCap. We're going to take a dowel, 3/4 inch, block of wood. This is 5 inches by 2 inches. We're going to take a 1/4 inch bolt and we're going to put all those together and make a marking gauge. It's quite a simple little tool. It's easy to produce 3, 4, 5 of these at a time. Really quick in the shop, takes under an hour, and you've got a tool that'll last you for years to come. So if you want to know how we do it, stick around. So one of the first things you might as well do is you need a cutter. These wood washers from FastCap, they sell them at Menards, work really good, and they really lend to this design because they already have a countersink in the washer. What that does is lets the screw head stay below the flat of the blade, which later on you'll see that really helps with getting precise thicknesses of boards. One of the first things you want to do is you want to flatten the top, and so what I did was I just mounted it into a short piece of dowel that I could hold on to, took it to my Shopsmith sanding disc, just held it on there square until I got a nice flush edge. Once you're done with that, then you want to load this same dowel into your lathe, into the chuck, and take a regular metal file, and while this is spinning, you want to add a back bevel to it, roughly about 25 degrees or so. And then once you've got that and you feel a burr, you come over here to your diamond plates and you just hand sharpen until you get it to a nice razor edge. I use some leather with a sanding compound. It's my little setup here. And this little dowel just lets you hold on to this flat piece. But then once you're done, how you know that it's sharp enough is if you can just take a sheet of paper and just go right down. It's really sharp because it cut right through 2 of them. You're going to cut wood fibers and not have any problems. The other plus to this design is instead of a single blade that you've got to sharpen constantly, you've got 360 degrees of blade, and how you just deal with that is this is fixed, and I just keep turning the dowel a little bit as I need a fresh edge, and it'll just let you use it a lot longer in the shop before you have to resharpen it. Once you need to resharpen it, all you really have to do is touch up the flats and it should be good to go again. So once you've just made a cut, actually the board that'll relieve the stress, and your 3/4 inch dowel is in a 3/4 inch hole, and I've got 1 1/8 recess. That way I don't have to worry about being super precise with the measurements, and your cutter should drop below the surface, and that's really critical for when you're wanting to read the dimension of a board. Let's say I want to know how thick this guy is. Well, I can just take him, put him here, that'll drop down, I'll lock it down, and now I've got the exact thickness of this block, and I'm ready to go, and I can scribe all day long, and I'll know that this one is set. That's why it's nice to have 3 or 4 of these sitting around, so you can maybe leave a setting if you're doing a large project. So how do I lock this in? Well, quite simply, we're just going to run a bolt through it. Now, this was a block that I just tested my theories on. We're just going to run a 1/4-inch hole for a 1/4-inch bolt with a wing nut. Just going to take a hand drill and drill it, somewhere in the middle of this section, and you should be ready to go. Well, as you can see, our marking gauge is finished, really. You can sand it and, put finish on it to help protect it. These take under half an hour to make. The cutter might take you another 15-20 minutes to make each cutter. The great news is with that split there, that lets this just kind of fall free. So I can take this block, set this on here, and let that fall. And you can just kind of, if you're worried about it exact fit, you just tighten it up here. And then what I do is I just kind of hold my thumb on the hex head, and you can recess that to keep that from happening, which I probably will do later. Tighten that up, like close the gap, and now this thing's not going to go anywhere. And you can also lay it on there and feel your finger and tell that you're like flush. And now let's say you want to make a rabbit or something, you could do that. You got your thickness for your dovetails, you're ready to go. This is a super easy project to make. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. But until next time, I see you in the backyard.